Top 5 Bollywood movies that are blatant Hollywood rip-offs. Although YouTube may tell us otherwise, Bollywood isn't composed entirely of movies where the protagonist can flip a semi with a touch of his hand and then kill 5 guys with 1 bullet, all while making out with a chick. It's actually a reputable industry with normal, sane movies. However, some of their movies are remakes or rip-offs of Hollywood movies. Number 5. Imitation is not flattery in the case of movie number 5, Sleeping with the Enemy or The Rar. Sleeping with the Enemy, albeit sounding like a spy thriller, is one of the most successful mainstream horror movies Hollywood has produced. Similarly, The Rar, which stars Juhi Chawla, India's version of Julia Roberts, did very well in theatres, and both Patrick Bergin and Arbaz Khan won nominations for their portrayal of abusive husbands. The success behind The Rar is actually quite baffling, considering Bollywood attempted 2 official remakes of Sleeping with the Enemy and both failed spectacularly. Number 4. Rip-off number 4 is Aisha, or Hollywood's Clueless. The 2010 film Aisha was pretty well received by audiences despite being on a long chain of plagiarized stories. Aisha ripped off 1995's Clueless, which in turn ripped off Jane Austen's Emma, which in turn ripped off every other Jane Austen book. In each case, the story is about a popular kid who knows she's better than everyone until some event makes her realize that she is better than everyone. Oh, and she'll probably get the boy too. That's okay, because the story is usually heartwarming enough that you'll forget how much you hate the lead. Number 3. Remake number 3 is Do Kaliyan, aka The Parent Trap. For most of us, our first thought when we think of The Parent Trap is, you mean when Lindsay Lohan wasn't doing drugs, right? Which is fine, except that Do Kaliyan came out way before Disney's movie. Before our entire argument falls apart and you turn off in disgust, you should know that the Disney movie is actually a remake of an old 1961 film starring Brian Keith. Number 2. And number 2, When Harry Met Sally, was revisited in Bollywood's Hum Tum. Back when Billy Crystal was still relevant, he made When Harry Met Sally. The movie is basically founded on something that every guy was thinking anyway. A guy and girl can't be friends without boning each other. When it comes to movies, India has been conservative with PDA, so it changed this to falling in love, even though the leads have sex later in the movie. We would understand if another movie was based on that idea, since it's pretty common, but Hum Tum took this one step further with some of the elements of its plot. Number 1. At spot number 1, Bruce Almighty turned into God Tusi Great Ho. Some people say that Hollywood is out of ideas. Those people have never been to India, because there's no way Bollywood would willingly choose to plagiarize Bruce Almighty. Remember, this is the movie that told us God gives his power to drunken losers for the sole purpose of fixing their love lives, and yet here it is. God the Secret Ho was released in 2008 and immediately was accused of blatant plagiarism. The director responded by saying that the movie isn't based on Bruce Almighty, but a story of a village priest, which sounds like the vaguest, most half-assed explanation someone can pull out on short notice.